all my college football fanatics out there, welcome to another sports edition of the Buckeye Vinny YouTube channel sports show. My friends, sit back, relax, and let's talk some SEC college football. And what a dandy of a game that we will have Saturday at 4 o'clock. The number 5th ranked Georgia Bulldogs, 10-2 on the year, 6-2 in the SEC, will be taking on the number 2 ranked in the country, the Texas Longhorns, coming in 11-1 on the year, 7-1 in the SEC, and these two will be battling for the SEC Conference Championship. And what a game this should be. Now, my friends, Texas' only loss this season were to the hands of the Georgia Bulldogs. Bottom line, Texas went in at the time undefeated when these two teams played earlier this season, and the Dogs handed it to Texas. And when you stop and look at this, a very tough place to play is in Austin, and Georgia went into Austin and knocked off the Longhorns by the score of 30-15. We shall see how this rematch will take place, and I will give you my prediction at the end of this video. But let's first talk the Georgia Bulldogs. Like I mentioned, coached by Kirby Smart, coming in offensively, putting up 34 points per game. Defensively, very uncharacteristic, giving up 21 points defensively per game. That number really jumped out at me. They are led by second-year starter Carson Beck at quarterback, 28 touchdown passes, 12 interceptions. It's a big number for him, my friends, considering last year he only threw 6 picks in 14 games. He's thrown for 3,429 yards on the year, and he's also thrown for 65% completion percentage, which for him is low, considering last year his completion percentage was 72%. Anyways, they are led by feature back, true freshman Nate Frazier. What a splendid job this young man has done. 587 yards rushing, and count them, 8 rushing touchdowns. Skilled set position players look this way. They got a good group of wide receivers, my friends. Dominic Lovett, 53 grabs, 571 yards receiving, and 6 touchdowns. Arian Smith, nice to call his name. The past couple years he was banged up with injuries, but he has remained healthy. 42 grabs, leads the team in receiving yards with 709 and 4 touchdown grabs. And Dylan Bell, what more can you say about Bell? Always reliable. 37 grabs, 433 yards receiving, and 4 touchdowns, my friends. I love the way Carson Beck is spreading the ball around. He's done a tremendous job getting every one of these skilled set position players involved in the offense. Now, offensively, Georgia comes in averaging 425 yards of total offense, 297 passing, 128 yards rushing. Defensively, this number's high for me. They give up 332 yards to their opponents defensively. A number that is also high for me is that the Dogs give up 136 yards to their opponents on the ground. Defensively, they have 30 team sacks. Chambliss and Jalon Walker are tied for team lead with 5.5 sacks each. My friends, moving on to the Texas Longhorns, coached by Steve Sarkisian, 11-1 on the year. What a job they have been. Texas, very consistent football team. They have remained number 2 predominantly almost the whole season. Texas comes in averaging 35 points a game offensively. Defensively, and this jumped out at me in a good way if you're a Longhorn fan, second in the country ranked in defense, only giving up 12 points per game. My friends, this team defensively, big, strong, quick, and physical. They're not afraid at all to lay the lumber to you in the secondary. They have very good D-line position players, very good linebackers, and most of all, they have a very talented secondary. Total offense looks this way. Texas averages 450 yards of total offense, 275 passing, and my friends, check this out. They average 175 yards on the ground. This could be a turning point in this game, my friends. Defensively, they only yield a stingy 247 yards to their opponents per game. They are led by starting quarterback Quinn Ewers, 24 touchdown passes, only 7 interceptions. He's thrown for 2,307 yards and has completed 67% of his passes. They are led on the ground by Trey Wisner, 812 yards rushing. Very impressive 5.2 yard per carry average and 3 rushing touchdowns. And my friends, how about this kid? Jadon Blue, 562 yards rushing, 5.1 yard per carry average, and 6 rushing touchdowns. Now this jumped out at me. Their skilled set position players, 4 receivers. Gunnar Hell, 48 grabs, leads the team in receptions with 48, leads the team in receiving yards with 600, and 5 touchdown grabs. Matthew Golden, 39 grabs for 576 and leads the team with 8 touchdown receptions. Isaiah Bond, 32 grabs for 510 and 5 touchdowns. And DeAndre Moore Jr. comes in with 5 receiving touchdowns. My friends, we're talking about a skilled set group that 4 players, receiving players, have 5 receiving touchdowns or more. I really like the way Quinn Ewers has been spreading the ball around to these receivers in a dramatic way. So, my friends, it's going to be very interesting. Defensively, this jumped out at me. 35 team sacks, which is 5 more than the Georgia Dogs. 18 team interceptions and 8 defensive fumble recoveries. So they have forced 26 turnovers. And now you know why they are ranked 2nd in the country in total defense. A splendid defensive team. They are led by Anthony Hill Jr., leads the team with 7.5 sacks, and Colin Simmons comes in with 7 sacks. My friends, bottom line, this is going to be a very interesting game because if the Georgia Bulldogs cannot run the ball on Texas, this could be a long night for Carson Beck throwing the football, okay? When Carson Beck is successful, it's because Coach Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, has established the running attack early and often into the game. And like I've always said, establish the running attack, and that only opens up the passing attack, and it keeps the defense honest. So, my friends, it's going to be coming down to this. Can the O-line of Georgia play up to their capabilities and A, protect Carson Beck, and B, open up holes for Frazier and Trevor Etienne? That's going to be the big question. Like I said, defensively, Texas darn near is the best of the best in the country, yielding only 12 points per game. You know, this game's going to be one in the trenches. Georgia's O-line against the defense of Texas's D-line. So, my friends, this is going to be my prediction. They always say that it is very difficult to knock off the same team twice in the same year. Yes, Georgia was very successful, beating Texas early this season 30-15. But I'm just going to say this. I believe Coach Sarkisian learned from that early loss this season. And I believe without a doubt, between Wisner and Jadon Blue and these great wide receivers for Texas, I do not see the Dogs winning this game. I like Texas to win this game 27-20. Bottom line, I do see Carson Beck and Georgia being able to move the football a little bit. But, my friends, you have to remember, Georgia predominantly is a slow-starting offense this whole season of 2024. Georgia cannot afford to get started off slowly, and if that's the case, okay, between Texas's passing attack putting up 275 yards per game and Texas's fierce rushing attack putting up 175 rushing yards a game, this is a big reason why I like Texas to beat the Georgia Bulldogs in this SEC Conference Championship game. My friends, if you are new tuning into my channel, Buckeye Vinny here welcomes you. Please click on the subscribe button. If you like this video, please click on the like button. And like always, please comment down below. Not only do I like to read your comments, but I like to get back to every single comment that I do read. Like always, my friends, peace out. God bless. Once again, I like Texas to take down the mighty Bulldogs 27-20. I am out of here.